Quentin Tarantino fires back at criticisms. And we've got the X did a synopsis of the story from Variety. And Alan, I'd love for you to read it. Here it is, right here from Variety. Quentin Tarantino fires back at Pulp Fiction star Rosanna Arquette after she criticized his use of the N-word in movies as racist and creepy. What? What'd she have to say, Alan?
Well, he said, dear Rosanna, I hope the public, I can't read that. You got to make that.
I hope the publicity you're getting.
69.
I can't, here. I need to find the tweet.
Should I make it bigger?
Yes, there you go. Okay, dear Rosanna, I hope the publicity you're getting from 132 different media outlets writing your name and printing your picture was worth disrespecting me in a film I remember quite clearly you were thrilled to be a part of. Do you feel like this way now? Very possibly. But after I gave you a job and you took the money to trash it for what I suspect is very cynical reasons.
Very cynical reasons. Typo.
Shows a decided lack of class, no less honor. There is supposed to be an esprit de corps between artistic colleagues, but it would appear the objective was accomplished. Congratulations, Q.
And there is that's Rosanna Arquette now. Okay.
Yeah, she got older. That's what people do.
Yeah, well, they have a recent photo of Quentin. I don't know if he looks like that. Whatever. Yeah, I think that is kind of BS.
Yeah,
it is kind of BS. She agreed to be in that movie. Never said anything about it. I think the political climate has changed, and that led to her making that remark. Kind of sad. What are your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, it's virtue signaling. And I mean, getting back to the whole John Davidson thing, I mean, I hate to say it, at some point it's just a word. And it's sticks and stones. The fact that people are hurt, devastated when hearing the word, obviously doesn't have Sirius XM set to the hip hop channels. I understand the word. I understand the power the word has. I would never say the word, but at the same time, it is just a word. I've been called chink so many times. It's just, it means nothing to me at this point.
And by me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right.
I don't think.
Why do you want me in the armor? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
A chink in the armor.
Yeah, but I mean, this is 2026. The idea that we haven't grown from this, that I think you've said it. We're giving too much power to the word.
Well, let me just say something. I am looking forward to on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I'm Irish. I'm very proud of my Irish heritage. My ancestors were slaves. Look it up. Irish people were slaves. They've been through a lot. And as far as I'm concerned, culturally appropriate all you want. Wear green, Alan, on next Tuesday for St. Patrick's Day. Go out and drink all the green beer you want. You can culturally appropriate. You can make jokes. You can call me every Irish mixed slur you want. I don't care because I'm not a pussy. Okay. A lot of other groups of people, if you make fun of their culture, or you culturally appropriate, or you make fun of their gods, who knows, you offend. I think those people are weak. But I have a sense of humor. And I think a lot of people who are Irish have a sense of humor. Oddly, that's consistent. But by the way, if you're with, make fun of me.
If you're with Chris on Tuesday and you buy him enough drinks, he may just say the N-word.
And that's where we'll leave it. Yeah. Hey, Rachel Zegler was in one of your favorite movies from last year, Alan. If I recall, Snow White was on the top. No, that's right. It was on your worst list.
Yeah, it was on the top. of the
But
word.
let's see. Look at this story here. She's got, and of course, there's pop-ups. Rachel Zegler says Snow White casting backlash was really confusing, and I refuse to assimilate for anybody else's comfort. Alan, what did the Zeg say?
All right. Well, in an interview with Harper's Bazaar, Snow White's Rachel Zegler said she received backlash from some conservative critics because of her Colombian heritage. I don't ever remember saying that. With complaints that Snow White should be played by a white actress. I remember saying that. Ironically, she previously faced the opposite criticism when playing Maria in West Side Story, where some people argue she wasn't Latina enough because her father is white. I was told I wasn't enough of one thing for West Side Story and too much of another for Snow White. Ziegler said she made proud of her identity and refuses to change herself to satisfy public expectations. When you're two things, you're simultaneously nothing. But I refuse to assimilate for anybody else's comfort. Ziegler also faced criticism posting Free Palestine on X while promoting Snow White. You live and you learn. The temptation to speak doesn't always mean it must be done. The backlash to her post escalated into serious harassment and threats. Ziegler said she never expected the reaction and would have handled things differently if she had known what was coming. If I'd been able to predict the threats to my safety, I would have thrown my phone in the ocean.
What do you think about this, Alan? I'm not a Rachel. Here's what I think happened. Give you my real quick. She's basically doubling down on I don't want to be in your big blockbuster. I think it really affected her deeply. Audiences rejected her and the movie, and she'll only be on Broadway or do very small indie films. She has her freedom of speech, all she wants when she's in those, because she's not risking hundreds of millions of dollars. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Look, if you didn't like her movie, you're racist. If you didn't like The Bride, you're a misogynist. If you don't like movies about slavery or civil rights, you're a racist. That's the excuse people give nowadays for putting out crap or not doing a good job. She says she remains proud of her identity and refuses to change herself to satisfy public expectations. There are things you should change to satisfy public expectations. One is pick better stuff to be in.
Well, that's one.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe don't hate your audience.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is a potential. Snow White is a classic story. The Disney original animated feature is beloved by generations of fans.
Yeah.
To disparage all of that and speak your mind carelessly is not really, it's unbecoming of a Hollywood actress, I think.
Sometimes of people in general.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah. The other thing is, I think Robert Ricardo got caught in this as well, but blaming fans or dismissing fans, dismissing audiences. The people who buy the tickets to see your movie, or the people who subscribe to the streamer that your movie appears on. Again, there's a shift where artists basically their shit don't stink, and therefore we must love it. And it's the complete opposite. You're here to entertain us. Why? Because we pay you money to be entertained. If you're going to do this for free in a vacuum, do whatever you want. But if you expect us to shell out our hard-earned money, then you need to start thinking about, who you want your money to come from and who your audience is.